I'm a homeschooling mom of 2 kids. I make YouTube videos and I volunteer to help my community. There is a lot of stuff that I get done, but it all takes time. How do I do it all? The secret is in this video. I'm going to share my top 4 tips about how I save hours and hours every single week. And the reason I made this video was because I could never find something that works with parents that is not about time blocking or Pomodoro techniques. They haven't ever worked for me because this is very generic advice. So if you watch till the end, I will give you a framework of how to think about saving time for yourself, how to make it personal. Number 1, identifying the biggest time sucker of your life, which also means that prioritize how you actually want to spend your time. If you don't know what is important to you and you're just juggling so many things around, you might be wasting your time even though you think you're being productive. For example, for my life, in the order of importance, it is my kids and my family, my health, and then comes my work. So I decided to build my life around the things that were important to me. And that meant that once I realized I was pretty close to financial independence, because nobody knows what their exact number will be. But when you think that you may be able to pay off your bills, it was an easy decision for me to quit my high-paying career because the most amount of time that I wanted to spend was nurturing my kids and family. Just by doing this practice of prioritizing your time, you can save yourself not just 20 hours a week, but maybe 40 to 60, especially because if the job that you're doing, or maybe even a business, is not a good match for you and your values, your priorities, you might be wasting your entire week, month, and your life on it. So figure out what are the first 2 or 3 most important things to you and go from there, optimizing your time outside of this. Number 2, I save time by looking at myself in the mirror. And by mirror, I mean my screen time on the iPhone. There have been days, I'm not proud to say that, but sometimes my screen time has been more than 6, 7, maybe 8 hours if I'm in the Netflix binge mode. And looking at my screen time gives me a good idea of where most of my time is going and that I want to reset myself to spend this time intentionally. And when you're in the binge mode, it is very hard to get out of it. So extreme measures might be required. I ordered this box from Amazon where I put my phone in a lock mode, and at least the involuntary times when I just pick up my phone for no reason, those moments are gone. And over a period of time, it has saved me a lot of hours. Another thing I do is I got 4G LTE on my watch, and that way I can just use my watch sometimes and leave my phone behind. Especially if I need to make calls or text messages, my watch is perfectly fine and it does not distract me from what I'm doing. So when I go out for a run or something, I do not try to first carry this heavy phone and always be on a YouTube video or listening to a podcast. Sometimes it's just nice to run by myself, listen to the sounds of nature, and relax my mind away from so much content and information that comes our way. All right, number 3, using my productivity smartly. I have realized after decades of experiment that I'm not a night owl. Even though I loved partying in college and staying up late, the maximum energy that I feel is during my morning hours. So I use that time as my sacred time and try to not distract myself. I do all of my deep work in the morning hours. I go to bed right alongside with my kids around 8:30 p.m. So my body naturally wakes around 5 o'clock. That's how long it needs, sometimes 8.5 to 9 hours to completely rest and refresh from the lifestyle that I live. And then at 5 a.m., nobody has woken up in the house. I can do creative work or yoga. I have been doing yoga every single day for the past 2 months, and it has been a game changer because I do a lot of extreme demanding physical sports and heavyweight lifting. So it has just kept my joints lubricated, and it wouldn't have happened. This 60-day streak wouldn't have happened if I didn't do it first thing in the morning where nobody's disturbing me. And by doing it consistently, I have saved myself a ton of injury while playing sports or lifting weights. So I don't even know how much time I've saved from not getting injured. So if you want to be consistent about anything or do something hard, choose the high energy time to do those tasks. Number 4 and the last one, I spend a lot of time resting and recovering, and that saves me time. Yes, it is ironic that I spend more time resting and recovering, but that's exactly the reason that saves me a lot of hours from injury, from low performance, and making mistakes. So giving your body enough time to recharge is going to save you lots of time in the long run. This last one is a bonus, and I've never heard anybody else talk about it. It's the deathbed test. I always ask myself, if I want to spend time doing something, what should it be? It's never been easier to confuse yourself with the number of options you have to spend your time. There are hundreds of hobbies and businesses that you want to start, or spend time with your kids, pets, family, travel the world, so many things to do. How do you decide what you should focus on and spend your time on? So I use my deathbed test. Actually, I've also started asking my 5-year-older self. So I'm 38 right now. I ask my 43-year-old self, will I be proud when I'm 43 doing something at 38 right now? Then I ask my 80-year-old, hopefully non-frail self, and I also ask, imagining myself on my deathbed, I'm 5 minutes away from death, would I be proud that I took these steps when I was 38 years old? If all 3 of those people say yes, hell yeah, go for it, I decide to spend my time on that. An example of that is I was feeling not very fulfilled even after quitting my job and taking great care of my kids and family and living this beautiful lifestyle. I felt like there was something that was missing, and I realized that I wasn't giving back enough to the community. So I started helping families that are struggling with their finances, and I do this for free. I put my best foot forward. I work really hard on working line by line on their budgets, their investments, the investment fees, and where to put money away for their kids and how they are going to retire. So it's a lot of work per person, but it's so fulfilling. I cannot believe how much of a difference I make to this one person's life by picking up this project with them. I'm kind of their cheerleader, and I give them lots of resources to learn by themselves, and I felt like this absolutely passes my deathbed test. The dying myself will be very proud that I took on these projects and helped people along the way. So this itself is a great use of my time by creating this fulfillment and feeling of joy and satisfaction. So work on your deathbed test. What would you be proud of having done? Maybe there was some nonprofit organization you wanted to support. If you can't go there right now and work in the field, maybe you could donate money to charity. Anything that you feel is missing from your life, spending time on that is going to save time, because this is the only resource we have that will never come back. You can always make more money, but never more time. So how are you spending your present moment? By making sure that your present moment is spent in the right way on the things that are important to you and you're being intentional, that is how you save time throughout the week, the month, and the year. Now that you know how to save the most amount of time, how about watch this video about keeping the highest amount of energy possible in your life? What can you do to have limitless energy? Click on this video right here, and I'll see you next time.